Hey guys, I'm back, Jerel Paul, with another interview, RELativity Media. This is a very, 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 very special guest, one that's dear to my heart. If you don't know, now you know, Mr. Sean Shizzo Butler. What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. How you?
I'm blessed, bro.
It's been a long time coming. I'm proud to be here. Before we even get into it, I want to say thank you for even thinking of me.
Thank
me
you
on this platform. Like, I'm definitely in tune with everything that you're doing. You're somebody I admire and look up to. So to be sitting here next to you is honorable, for sure.
Man, iron sharpens iron, man.
Facts.
When you motivated by your peers, man, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, Shizzo was my first ever interview.
Yeah.
So y'all go to I am Jerel Paul on Instagram. Scroll down. He was my very, very, very first interview. We did the Mono and Maddie event. That was an amazing event, man.
That's crazy. I wasn't even thinking about that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking about we went live or something like that. But dang, that was our first one. Yeah. That's when I did the Mono and Matter self-development course.
You showed me a lot with that, because even with that event, it was a lot of adversity.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Everything was put against us.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And but you persevered through it. You didn't quit. You ain't say, let's do this another day, another time.
I pushed through.
You said, listen, how can we make this work today? And I think that's one of the key components in being successful. Right? Is getting past that hurdle. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you showed me something. You inspired me on that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You booked this room. Listen, that's fall off. We're gonna go somewhere else. You know
Exactly.
That was
didn't
amazing.
even stop. We ended up in somebody's living room, still getting it done.
Yeah. Because you was focused on a goal.
Yeah. I believe in not letting adversity stop what the end result is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everything has to be pushed through. I literally learned that from rappers. I'm a rapper, but I don't follow rappers just because of their lyrics or what they talk about. I follow who they are. This is why I'm big fans of Kevin Gates, Nipsey Hussle, Nas, people like that, because they follow a structure. They follow a certain way of doing things. And that whole that not giving up aspect was definitely Nipsey, because he was so adamant about, just because it doesn't work right now doesn't mean it's not supposed to happen. Right. You just got to keep on pushing.
So you agree with your brand is who you are, basically?
Absolutely. Your brand is who you are. Your brand is going to become what it's supposed to be based off of how you carry it. Okay. If you carry it like, oh, well, this happened and it didn't work out, so I'm going to go work on something. If you carry it like that, then that's what your brand is going to represent. Wow. Versus, oh, well, this happened, but I'm going to push through because I'm not done with this part. If you carry it like that, then your brand will be a representation of you pushing through it. Yeah, exactly.
I love that. And thinking about just pushing through, let's talk about one of your brands now, Mind Over Matter. Yeah. So what's your goal with that?
So Mind Over Matter was basically started just off of me wanting to do something bigger than myself. So when I came up with the idea, I'm like, you know what? I can use this to encourage the youth, inspire young entrepreneurs, and assist military veterans. I'm a military veteran myself. And me seeing everything that veterans go through, it really made me want to get the word out more, so people could understand, because people think the real battle is overseas at war. The real battle is coming back home, because you've just been in an environment where you got shot at, you were about to get killed, you're dealing with all these other people's emotions that you don't even know, and you come back home and people think, oh, well, he just went to war, he served the country, he's cool, we're proud of him and all that. And they don't understand it, and it is traumatizing. You'll get PTSD from just being over there. And it's different from the post-traumatic stress we get as a kid, because we grew up in the hood. So we deal with a form of post-traumatic stress as well. Imagine the first 14, 15 years of your life crammed into 12 months. Wow. You get what I'm saying? And on another level, I got shot at in the hood, plenty of times. I remember my car being shot, not even being in beef. I never was one of those guys that ran around with guns or tried to kill. I got shot at plenty of times when I was just around the wrong people. Over there, it's not no handguns. We talking about getting blown up.
And it's intentional being shot at.
Exactly. Yo, I want to kill this person. That's how they operate. Like I remember, like somebody got hit with a rocket launcher behind me. So for me to be even back in the hood and thinking like, all right, well,
and you gotta take that and keep going.
And you gotta take that and keep going. Exactly. So Mind Over Matter was basically birthed from me trying to give back. Like I want to give back to the youth. I want to inspire people. I got an 11-year-old son, and I be trying to teach him so many things. I feel like I can expand even more if I teach other children the stuff that I'm trying to instill in him. You know what I mean? And it's going to roll down. It's going to be a trickle down effect because he's going to be able to teach the same stuff because he's learning it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the whole concept of Mind Over Matter is basically once you put no matter what you're doing in life, once you put your mind to something, nothing else matters.
I love it.
If your mind is set on this, nothing else matters.
So how does that trickle down then to, like I know you said you got an 11-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you teach him to say, listen,
mm-hmm.
I know school may be hard. I know
mm-hmm.
relationship, co-parenting thing may be hard on you at 11 years old because 11-year-olds, they see more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how does that, affect him?
To be honest, as a father, and I don't know if everybody would agree, but I tell my son everything. I don't hide nothing from him. I tell him my grown man problem. I tell him my relationship issues. I tell him about how I don't have money for this at this time because I was irresponsible or the rent was paid late or like, cause me and him been in situations where we had to literally knock on people's doors and ask like, yo, can we use a shower? Or we got to sleep in our car tonight. Me and my son. You get what I'm saying? So me teaching him is literally a reflection of my actual life. And I feel like instilling these things into him will get him to a point where he understands at an older age. At the same time, I don't want him to be raised off of like survival. Mm-hmm. I teach him survival and love.
Yeah. And
I teach him that you have to push forward to build wealth for yourself because one day you're going to grow up and I'm not going to be there for you anymore. I'm going to have my own wife and kids. Now it's time for you to get your own wife and kids. So if you start learning this stuff now.
Yeah, I think that, and that, my opinion on that, I think that instills a level of gratefulness in him.
Yeah.
Right, and keeps him humble. Right, because our parents kind of did us a disservice. They made us feel entitled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hiding a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, and that made us kind of, lazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? At a certain point, you know what I mean? So just making, instilling that stuff in him, that makes him grateful.
He's still lazy though. He's still I cannot.
But I remember from our last conversation, mm-hmm. He started his own business and things like that. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, he's very effective. He's up before me every day.
Wow.
Like he wakes when I wake up in the morning, he like, hey dad, made you breakfast. I'm about to start school in an hour. So whatever you need, just let me know. And this is my 11-year-old son. So he's very effective. When I say lazy, I mean like, for instance, this Saturday I took him to the football field just because I want to teach him some discipline. And he was just like, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Like one of those things.
And
but
he didn't want to do it.
If he's passionate about something, he will put for Fortnite. Listen,
yeah,
he'll do what he got to do for Fortnite.
Yeah.
You need me to wash these dishes because I gotta get these V-Bucks. Mm-hmm. I need to pay for this. You get what I'm saying? So, but I think that's all of us though. Whatever we're passionate about,
we're gonna get it done.
We're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
So he has his lazy ways, but I be trying to teach him to be a man, but I still gotta let him be a kid.
Let me ask you a question. Has he ever did anything and that you're proud of that you didn't tell him to do? Like you ever had one of them like proud dad? I'm like, I need to actually do that.
I think he does something like almost every day. Especially like the waking up in the morning, like I desire that so bad. Just to be one of them people like it's 5 a.m. I got all the energy and like I don't even know how he do it.
Yeah.
There's some nights I be like, yo, you can stay up, man. You can stay up till 1 o'clock, man. Go ahead. Like all right, he'll go to sleep and still be up a couple hours later, like nothing, like you wasn't just sleep. But he has an ambition to get things. I love that about him. So he makes me proud. And him running a business. I remember was teaching him about entrepreneurship. So he was like, well, Dad, what can I do to make some money? I'm like, all right, well, there's a vending event in, Atlantic City. Your dad's going to be talking on stage about real estate, and they got vending opportunities. If you bring a product, you can sell it. He was like, all right, well, what am I going to sell? I'm like, let's find you something. So we go online, we find all these watches, we buy them in bulk. We buy all these watches. He set up the whole table. It says Mind Over Matter on the table. He's sitting there. At the time, I think he was like 9, about to turn 10 or something like that. And he was like, I can do this. But he didn't express that. He just did it. He was walking out to people like, hey, would you like to buy these watches?
No anxiety, no
I'm thinking that he just gonna sit behind the
just go get it.
He just went out and got it. Like at the end of the night, he was like, hey, here, Dad, here was $200. And mind you, whatever on your Cash App, you can keep that too. I got $800. My 10-year-old. So I'm shocked. He was like, by the way, you want to go out to eat tonight? You need something weird? Like,
does he have an Instagram page? Shout out to the Instagram page.
Shout out to Nah Money More. NY Money More. Yeah, that's my boy.
NY Money More. Y'all go follow the Instagram page. Yeah. Young Hustler.
Exactly. I gotta remember to effectively keep him on this path. Because when I be going through adversities in life, sometimes I hinder his growth, if that makes any sense. It's like he was thinking that, but when we had that event, that was 2 years ago, I got to keep him on that. We just had actually my overseer at Mayo Christian Center. He just had a birthday event, so my son was able to vend there. He made some money. He talked to some people, and I noticed that my son wasn't professional as he was before. But that's because I wasn't top. Exactly. So it's all a learning progress. But yeah, being a father and having Mind Over Matter is a blessing.
Understand that. So from talking about your son, let's go into your early childhood.
Okay.
Right. You said you grew up in South Philly.
Yeah.
How was that experience, and what were some of those that things you've been through that you pull from in your music or in your businesses?
Growing up in South Philly was tough because we really didn't have too many older guys that were like trying to do something bigger than themselves. You know, we live in the age of millennials, but back then we 80s babies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So our parents was literally like out here. So we really didn't have that, you know, you should do this, you should do that. Wasn't nobody to tell us that. So we was just out running the streets, just getting into mischief, doing stuff we wasn't supposed to do. I'm at 13, I was stealing cars before I was having sex. Wow. You get what I'm saying? So it was like I wanted to learn more. I had a desire to learn more. But there wasn't nobody who was like, yo, do this, do that. It wasn't until like my mom changed her life around, start going to church. That's when I started realizing different things. Okay, well, life doesn't have to be this way. I thought like wherever you grew up at, that's where you're gonna end up. Yeah. Oh well, he's a drug dealer, he's a dope fiend, and I'm gonna be at least one of them two. But when I start seeing like people making, like for instance, we the whole Philadelphia watched Meek Mill's progress from him starting out to him being a multi-superstar. We watched it. Yeah. We watched it. So when we witnessed that, it was like, oh wait, this stuff is possible.
Yeah.
This stuff
and
is
that's
possible.
That whole internet wave, right? Like that whole internet wave, you can actually see people's progression.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can see people's like early grind, and then when they make it, you be like, yo.
Exactly.
I can if they do that, I can really do that.
Exactly. This is why Mind Over Matter is so important. I was thinking about doing like a nonprofit organization. When I seen like all the bylaws and everything that goes into it, I'm like, all right, let me take a few steps back, because I can still do mentorship without adding that aspect to it. So my goal now is to do like mentorship programs for young boys, probably like the ages like 15, like 25 or something like that. But just to instill in them some knowledge and wisdom that I got learning. Like I'm gonna teach them. I'm gonna teach them based off of my experiences in life. Because I feel like the best teacher is trial and error. Yeah. The best teacher is you going through it. So if I can tell somebody what I went through, they probably be like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't do it that way. I can do it this way. So Mind Over Matter is definitely going to have a mentorship program too, because in actuality, there is some kids in South Philly that's probably still growing up how I did. But if somebody like me was in their life, everything can change.
And now you yourself got that story of growing up in South Philly and signed your first record deal. Signed your first record deal. Heavy. let's talk about Divine Chosen Entertainment.
Oh,
how was that day? Like, how was that process leading up to signing? How was that process like literally putting that ink to the paper and then, going to the studio? It got to be like a different swag on the studio as a signed artist opposed to, early on just doing mixtapes. And we're going to talk about the early on stuff too, but
yeah,
let's get into Divine Chosen.
So Divine Chosen, my pastor was just like, yo, I'm going to start a record label. There's way too much talent in this church. Like, you one of them. I definitely can see you, doing big things in the music industry. So we're going to start a label. And like, this is something that I've always been passionate about. I feel like I had to, before I even got to that point, I had to make a sacrifice. Because every time he mentioned this promise, like God has a promise for us. Every time I heard that word, it was like record deal. It's something I wanted for the last decade. So I'm like, I got to make a sacrifice. So I had an alcohol addiction and I stopped drinking. And literally like 15 days later, it was like, yo, you're signing the deal.
Wow.
And you're signing the deal. So Divine Chosen Entertainment is definitely something that I cherish. Not just because it's my first record deal, but this is my first time actually doing this with a team. I never did music with a team before. So of course there's some conviction and cultivation that has to go on with that because I'm so used to being an independent artist. It was like hard to even get into like understanding the concept of putting myself in front of these people with a label backing me. And it's a kingdom label. You know what I mean? So our primary objective is to bring kingdom to the music industry.
Yeah.
Since I'm a rapper that has a message like, let's say I have a message like Chance the Rapper or Fabulous or like talking about grown man stuff. Yeah. But my approach is more mature rap, exactly. But my approach is more something. My approach is Shizzo. Nobody delivers the way that I do. So since I have that, I feel like it's going to open some doors and put Divine on a whole another level. Yeah. Because we're going to touch the platform in a way that's never been touched before. And the part that I love about signing this deal is that I own all my masters. Nothing was taken away from me. I own all my masters.
Let that breathe. Can we let that breathe for a minute? Yeah. Can we let that like pregnant pause? I have never heard an artist signing a deal and still has 100% of their master.
Yeah, shout out to Divine.
That's got to be some type of history.
Shout out to Divine. Shout out to.
You're not a slave on this label.
Yeah.
Because we hear all the time, like, these artists, they sign their deals and they getting raped and robbed. You know what I mean? And then here you are walking in the game for the first time.
I'm walking in the game. Shout out to my brother Aaron Gotti. He actually signed with me. We both walked into the game together. And we got noticed off of like doing one single together. Yeah. And we both signed a deal.
Was that the Lucky Today project?
Lucky Today. Yeah. We did that song together. And like, it picked up so much momentum so fast. It's like, all right, let's hurry up and let's put the ink on the paper. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was a blessing to, even see that on the contract, like 100% is yours.
Different.
That's different.
You shed a tear. Yeah.
I cried in the car.
You cried in the car?
I cried in the Sprinter, man. Yeah. I cried in the Sprinter, man. Yeah.
So what should we be looking at? I know I seen some on Instagram, something called Quarantine in College.
Quarantine in College.
Talk about that.
Quarantine in College. This song, so it's definitely a banger.
Yeah.
The video is supposed to be dropping actually in a couple of weeks on my birthday. So we're gonna drop the video exclusively, and this is the very first song. Absolutely, and this is the very first song from Divine Entertainment. What makes this song so special to me is that I didn't give up, and it created opportunities for people. I'm talking about like my stylist, my director, the videographer, the publicist, the branding manager, like everybody. We all flew out and shot a video, and people are able to express themselves through their craft. And we all working on this one project. It was,
How was Kali?
Kali was amazing. The process of the video was terrible.
Yeah.
So much stuff happened, but what I was just telling you about adversity. Ain't nothing, there's nothing in this world that's worth having that's gonna come easy. Nothing in this world is worth having that's gonna, listen, shout out to A-Rap. That's like my publicist, my brand manager. He don't even know it. That's like my morale coach. Like he helped me keep my spirits up all the time. But
good dude right there.
Yeah, for sure. A-Rap, me and him, we got into a car accident out there. We almost died.
Wow.
Car was total, but we survived, and I believe we survived.
And y'all still got the video done.
We still got the video done. Crazy. We still got the video. All glory be to God, man. All glory be to God. So I'm excited about Quarantine in College. This is the first single of Divine Entertainment. This is the first music video of Divine Entertainment. No, so I'm actually on a song with a brother of mine, Barry Scott. He's a singer. I asked him to do the hook for me. I'm like, this song will be real dope. And usually I do my hooks myself, but I'm like, no, I need like a more melodic voice, but somebody that can bring an approach like it's fun, like it feel good music. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, let me get my bro on it. Like, come in the studio with me, sing this. And ironically, me and him both had a love for California. Like he used to actually live out there. And I love like California, like the sunshine, the air, everything is amazing about it. So I'm like, I'm gonna write a song about California. It wasn't even supposed to happen because I did a whole mixtape, Welcome to the Shizzo Show, and it was already done.
Fire, by the way.
Yeah. It's already done. We actually had to revamp the whole thing after I signed the deal. So it's not on platforms right now, but we putting out every song periodically. So for Quarantine in Cali, when I asked Barry to get on the song, it was basically like, hop on this. I'm gonna write a song about everything that we love in California, and I'm good at that. Like they call me like the concept king. I know how to put concepts together. Not bragging or anything, but I put the concepts together, and it turned out well. So I'm excited for that.
Was it any spots that y'all touched down? Was it any spots that you wanted to hit in Cali?
Absolutely. So we hit Crenshaw and Slauson.
Nip.
Yeah. We hollered at Nip. We had to go holler at Nip.
Neighborhood Nip.
Nip really all over the neighborhood. So we like, let's be right here. Let's be right there.
Was he inspiration to you in your music?
Absolutely. He was the reason that I told myself, don't stop.
Wow. Why is that?
Because his approach was just like, when things happen, it don't mean that it's over. It just means not right now. It just means not right now. I remember T.P. Frazier said that. He's actually president of Divine Entertainment. He said, sometimes it's presented, but it wasn't ready. A lot of times we'll get presented something. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're ready for it or it's ready for us. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm excited about Quarantine College. I'm excited about the video. I'm excited about what's next because I got some other bangers that I'm ready to put out.
Is that so? That's the Quarantine College going to be a flagship to a bigger project.
Yeah, it's going to set the tone.
Okay. Do we know what that's going to sound like?
What the tone is going to sound like?
Yeah.
If I had to put it in one word, I would say kingdom. Okay. It's going to sound like kingdom. Okay. I'm not. You see, I talk about God a lot. I'm not a gospel rapper. I'm not a hood rapper. I'm not a trap star. I'm not none of that. I'm Shizzo. You're gonna get me.
You're gonna put me in a box.
You're not gonna put me in a box. You're gonna get me. I literally tried to rap like other rappers and do it. So I'm like, I'm gonna just sit here and be myself.
Might as well.
And every single time it's like, this is really, really good. my creative director, Simone B. Wright, she actually produced one of my songs, one of the videos that I put up called Trigger. And around this time, this is when the riots started out in Philadelphia because George Floyd's murder. And she was like, yo, how you been feeling lately? And I was just telling her, like, yo, I'm scared for my life. There's so much stuff going on. I don't know what to do. And she was like, yo, write a song about it. This is why this is why you keep feeling like it's not done. Write a song about it. You dealing with these triggers. She was like, matter of fact, call it Trigger. Write a song about it, call it. So I hit her up next week, like, yo, the song's done. She was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So me and Shot by Quad, that's my videographer, by the way. Shout out to Shot by Quad. Me and him went out to DC, the capital of the United States, and I rapped about like Sandra Bland, George Floyd, Trayvon, and the police brutality and everything that we can't get control of in the United States. It wasn't necessarily one of those like solution songs. It was more so like, this is how I feel.
You venting.
I was just venting. It was just like,
it was therapeutic at that point.
Yeah. Like I said in the song, in America, the last victims never had guns. Ain't nothing more scary than having a black son. This is like, I feared a whole lot of things in my life. I used to think that my biggest fear in life was like losing my legs, because like I'm a runner. I love to run. I've been in the military, so I've been running for 10 years straight. And my biggest fear was always like losing it. But even having a black son trumps that, my biggest fear. You get what I'm saying? Because that phone can come right now. Little boy was running down the streets, ran into some cops, and they just disagreed with him. So yeah, Trigger was one of those songs. So more so, like, you're gonna get more projects like that where I'm expressing something. I'm gonna be talking about things that are tangible, and I'm gonna have some songs where you're gonna get a little bop. I'm gonna have some songs where it's gonna get really emotional. I get personal in my music. I get very personal in my music. I like to talk about things that make people think. I remember Lauryn Hill, one of my favorite female artists of all time. She said, "Come on, baby, light my fire. Music is supposed to inspire." That always stuck with me, because if you're listening to something and you don't feel nothing after it, it's not a song.
Well, with that said, I'm assuming Lauryn Hill is one of your inspirations as well.
Absolutely.
Right. So, what were some of those early inspirations that drove you to rap?
To rap. The very, very first time I thought I could be a rapper, I still remember this.
Good boy.
It had to be a long time ago. I don't know what was that, 2003?
Yeah.
It was years ago. I heard Fabulous. Fabulous came on TV. L-O-U-S. His first song dropped with Nate Dogg, and it was like, y'all can't deny it. I'm just riding, with me. Yeah. Okay, listen. So I'm listening to that song, and I'm like, yo, this is a banger, but it's so simple.
Yeah.
Like the way he was rapping, if they want it, cowards get it. Like he was rapping like I'm sitting there doing my homework, and I'm like, he rapping like I'm writing. Like I gotta do a little essay or whatever and writing something. Like, it's so simple. I can do that. I can do that. I can make a hot song and just write something out. So that's when I start like putting words together and rhyming, and then that evolved into me telling people about it. So now I go into high school. Next thing I know, I'm at every single lunch. Like, I'm skipping classes. We had first period lunch, second period, third period, fourth. I'm at every single lunch. People like, yo, Shizzo, come over here. They beating on table. Yo, as a freshman, I didn't battle none of the freshmen. Yeah. As a freshman, when I first came into the school, the first person that I went one-on-one with was somebody that was graduating. As a freshman, and ever since then, it's always been like, yo, Shizzo was the hottest rapper in the school. My whole 4 years, I was the hottest rapper.
What school? High school?
I went to Benjamin Franklin High School. Okay. I'll show you I'll show you the yearbook when I graduated. It literally says Sean Butler most likely to be famous, because they knew it was going to happen. They knew this moment was going to happen. Wow. That was over a decade ago. Wow. But I was most likely to be famous because
you was called to this.
Absolutely. And I don't take it for granted. A lot of people want to be modest and say, well, I don't want to talk about myself too much, so I ain't gonna brag. It's not bragging. This is who you are. This is who you are, and I accepted it. I got this gift for a reason. My reason is to inspire. Like I said, quarantine in college. When people got those opportunities, that's why I'm doing. That's why it wasn't for me to quit. You get what I'm saying? There's a young boy out there right now that knows how to rap, but he's scared to express himself because he thinks that people are going to judge him and all that. I'm gonna talk to you right now. I'm gonna talk to the young boy. Young boy, listen to me. Listen to me. Only you can control your own destiny. You have what it takes. You have what it takes. The only thing that's stopping you is you. So keep on going. I don't care what you're talking about. As long as you being real with yourself. Understand that identity is the key to life. Know who you are. Express yourself and put it in your music. I don't care if it sounds corny to you. Whatever it sounds like to you. It don't even matter. You go ahead and push it because you can do it. If I'm sitting up here on RELativity Media, you should be his next interview. You next, young boy.
I'm looking for you.
Thanks.
I'm looking for you.
Yeah.
So speaking on that, you seem like you got a lot of confidence in yourself.
Absolutely. It took me a while to get it.
So, right. So let's speak on that dynamic of the things that you had to work on to get to this point. Like, what were some of them chinks and holes in your armor that you say, you know what, if I want this, I gotta let go of this, or I gotta work on this?
The only answer I have for that is God. The only answer I have for that. To elaborate a little bit, it's like when I tapped into being spiritual and taking my faith seriously, that's when I started realizing who I was, and it built up identity in me.
Okay.
And once I got identity, it made me more confident. It made me more like aware of what my purpose was.
Okay.
Because I went years like, what am I supposed to do with my life? You know how like college students, you went to college, like being a college student, like I have this major, but I don't even know if this is what I want to do.
I changed my major about 5 times.
Yeah, and that's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. And the only thing that changed that for me was like putting my faith in God. My mom used to always say to me, when you pray, always ask God, order my steps in your word. So if I look at this book, I look at the Bible, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna read this Bible. I probably don't understand nothing in here. But if I say, order my steps in your word, even if I'm reading it and I don't understand it, something is going to download. And that's how you build like a spiritual relationship with God. Yeah. So my relationship with God gave me the confidence, the Godfidence for me to evolve to a level where I understand, you know, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm here for a reason, and I'm not going to take it for granted.
So, coupled with that, how do you face your fears?
Following my leader. Following my leader. Every time I get confused about something, follow my leader. If people don't have a leader, I feel like they're operating. You can't operate without a leader. You have to have some type of motivation, something that you look up to, somebody that can speak back to you and pour into you. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say this on camera. Everybody think I be writing all my raps. It don't be me. I literally go to church every Sunday. I go to church. Shout out to Overseer William Brown Lee. I literally go to church every Sunday and download everything that he says, then go home and get creative. Yeah. And put it like, so I owe you some writing credits, man. But he already in the mix. He started the record label, so he in the, you know.
That's what's up. So do you think, like, say if an artist wanted to, or somebody want to be a rapper or in, you know, real estate or in whatever lane they choose, they should have like a mentor in that area.
Yeah, you gotta be following something in somebody.
Okay.
You gotta be. Nothing in this world is brand new. Everything is a duplication of something that somebody else did. The only spin you putting on it is you doing it your own way. You gotta follow something in somebody. I read this book one time. I think it was called it was by Robert Greene, Mastery. Yeah, Mastery. And in that book, it said
the art of law, right?
Yeah. He wrote that too.
Yeah. Art of War.
Art of War, right? And the 48 Laws of Power, all them other books. But
48 Laws.
Mastery was a good book because he spoke about like how you have to serve an apprenticeship. This is one of the rules of becoming a master of anything. You have to serve an apprenticeship, meaning you have to be up under somebody that does what you let's say you get a job at McDonald's. Yeah. If you don't learn from the guy who's been flipping burgers for 2 years, you're not going to be good at it.
You gotta go through training. Yeah. You
gotta go through training.
Yeah.
There's not if you just gonna have a spatula in your hand, it's gonna mess everything up. But this one guy, he getting 15 done at a time while you working on. You get what I'm saying? Whatever you do, even you as a media personality, you gotta watch podcasts
all day.
You get what I'm saying? You get
from everywhere, from Charlemagne
exactly
to my man on CNN. Well, I used to work on CNN. I watch a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A lot of people. I watch how they move. You know what I mean?
So that's what I would suggest. Like, just like looking up to other rappers, but I don't want to follow the game how they've done it. Mm-hmm. I want to come in the game and do it my own way, which I've already done. Like I came in the game and doing it my own way because my first song is going to be about quarantine in college. You don't know what my next song is going to be about, but as long as I can keep giving them a delivery that's like surprising them every time, that's going to build up anticipation. Like, yo, what Shizzo going to do next? Yeah, you would never know.
So moving on, you're also in real estate. How did you get into that?
Oh my gosh. I say about like 4 or 5 years ago, I was in that phase where I was just talking about how trying to figure out personal purpose. Like, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. And I started researching millionaires. And everybody I researched, they had one thing in common.
Real estate. That's a fact.
All of them. So I'm like,
that's a fact. I'm thinking about it now. Every millionaire that I've heard of has property.
Absolutely.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
Even a couple years ago, I heard Jay-Z closing this crazy apartment complex in like Brooklyn or something like that. Like every rich person has real estate.
Yes. So me doing that research and figuring out like how many millionaires are made even by real estate, even billionaires as well, made by, like buying property and selling and holding on to property and all that. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta get into this. So I went to school for it, and I actually went to Temple University in Philly. They had like an institute where it like branched off. It was just only about real estate. And since I'm a military veteran, I didn't even have to pay for the school. They paid for the school for me. So I got into that, and I just started reaching out to certain people. And the more I reached out, the more my network grew. I remember me and you was talking about how your network is your network. Yeah. And I just started reaching out to people, and I found myself following moguls, like being in the presence of moguls like Jay Morrison, Big Business, Greg Parker, Alexis Miles. Like all these people are big in real estate in the Philadelphia area. And I just been learning back to back. So as of right now, I'm a licensed realtor at Keller Williams, Philadelphia. And my target market is more so like helping wholesalers buy and sell. Because there's a lot of people out here that want to get into real estate and they don't even know where to start. I want to be a resource, like a funnel, like direct them through me so I can help them buy and sell. And also help people find dream homes. Like I remember watching movies as a kid, and I would always admire the guy in the suit. It's like, hey, welcome to this. Let me show you. Look at this. Now I do that on Instagram now. Like I go on Instagram and literally like, hey, how you doing? This is the bathroom sink, and this is the kitchen counter and all that. And it gives me a sense of not just joy, but it gives me a sense of purpose fulfilled. Like you've seen yourself doing this, now you're doing it. That's how I manifest. I put it in my head first. And so I actually see myself doing this. Sitting here with you with an interview. As soon as I seen the vision in my head, I'm like, all right, let me remind the team. Like, yo, when we're doing this, and now we made it a reality. Right. So
who would you say was your biggest influence in this game, in the real estate game?
In the real estate game, I would say Ironically, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
That came left field. I wouldn't have guessed Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry, yo, if you look up his portfolio, down
Heavy.
south, he's heavy. He's heavy. And to think about him, he
quiet.
You don't hear
quiet.
You don't hear nothing about him, but he got studios in Hollywood that he owned. Not even just talking about properties, Tyler Perry.
That just made me think of the common misconception we was raised with, like the people with money that we grew up with, always was loud.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was nobody like quiet, no quiet money growing up.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
It wasn't a thing. It was unreal.
Grandmom had a couple dollars under the mattress and things like that, and the sofa.
Yeah.
But all the people we thought had money, they wore their money.
It
wasn't quiet.
I had to learn that. I'm not gonna say I learned it the hard way, but I've been on both sides of the fence. I had a lot of money before. I had a little bit of money before, and me not having a lot of money made me realize that having a whole lot of money is not value in life. Real value is love. Real value is friendship. Real value is God. That's the things that I value. You know what I mean? If I can't have, you can have $1 billion and be lonely, and be depressed, and be suicidal.
Millionaires commit suicide too.
You know what I mean?
Millionaires commit suicide too.
So like, I love that value. So, but just going off of what you were saying, like now, since I've experienced, driving a BMW for like 5 years, a nice one too, being on private jets and going to islands and wearing all this nice stuff. Now it don't faze me anymore. Yeah. But I gotta be mindful though, because like I be doing stuff sometimes where it's like my stylist, how the apparel, she'll kill me. Like, yo, why you ain't dressed? You doing it? You going in here like you gotta look like something. But I really got to a point where it's just like I don't care about the trying to look like it no more. I want to be it. I would rather my bank account look like 100 million than my clothes. You feel what I'm saying? So, but
do you have any apprehensions or fears of like being wealthy? Like I know some especially wealthy single men, they don't want to date just anybody because they fear they just want them for their money. Like is there any apprehension or fear?
Absolutely not. You need money. Yeah. Everybody need money. Like
more money, more problems. Like
yeah. A lot of people do think like that. I'm not one of those guys. I need my M's.
Period.
I need my M's. I need a whole lot of money. Cause not for me. Only reason I even want money is to give it away. Yeah. God is good to me. I got favor. And favor gives you stuff for free. You know what I mean? My last apartment, I ain't paid rent all 2020 yet. That's favor. My car, I own it.
That's touching the ground.
That's favor. Like God, I believe my faith in God paid for stuff for me. So the only reason I actually want money is to be able to supply. You know what? I can do more with my mentorship program with a lot of money. Pouring back into the communities. I can buy schools. I can buy, clothes and backpacks and all this and give back to the people, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. If it's not about the people, then what are you here for? What is your purpose in life? All of us share the same purpose. Yeah. All of us share the same purpose, and the purpose is each other. Yeah. We're not taking care of each other. Then what are we doing? We need to be building community. We need to be buying our stuff back so we can continue to build and strive.
So before we wrap up, what's your message then to the people that's watching, the young people that's watching? Because somebody's going to watch this and they're going to say, I heard a lot of dope things from Shizzo. How can I be like Shizzo right now? Like, what's some of the things, practical things that I can look for or do to be in real estate or to be an artist or anything that you're doing right now? It doesn't matter.
I would say, number one, understand who you are. That's big. Find out who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you're going to be out here moving sloppy. There's a lot of rappers, let's say rappers, for example, that try to be like other rappers because they don't understand who they are. I can walk into any room and be in any studio and make a song with anybody, no matter what the genre is. It can be country, rock, heavy metal, no matter what it is. But I know who I am. I have identity. So remembering who you are will give you that gift. It'll make you stronger at what you do. I don't care if you're a basketball player. Know who you are. I don't care if you're a cook. I don't care if you do hair. Whatever you do, understand who you are so you can bring your own style to the table. That's number one. Number two would be mentorship, servant apprenticeship. Don't sit here and act like you can do everything on your own because you can't. You can't. You need to learn from somebody. I've been there before where I was just selfish. Like, I can do this on my own. Ain't nobody gonna help me.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna help me. I can do this on my own. Like, man, this is not like I don't need anybody. Like, no, you need people. You need to know what you're doing and how to do it. So if you wouldn't trade places with somebody, there's no reason for you to take advice from them. Remember who you are, one, and serve an apprenticeship. That's two. Number three, pour back into other people. It's not about you. Pour back into other people. Learn. Be a giver. Sow seeds. Sow seeds. Seeds will bring you value. If you see somebody struggling, help them out. No matter what they're going to do, who cares? Help them out. Help them out at the end of the day. But more importantly, bigger than any of these rules or anything that I'm telling you, the most important thing, the most valuable thing that you can do is trust and believe God. Because God is going to give you the faith. God is going to give you the strength. And the thing about God is he never fails.
Never.
God never fails. So you can mess up 1,000 things 1,000 times, but God will pull you out of it, pick you back up, turn you around, and be like, all right, we're starting here now. Reset. So yeah, it's the reset.
Reset for me.
For sure.
All right. So real quick, where can they find you?
So you can follow me at Shizzo. That's SHIZZO on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, Shizzo Butler. If you're looking for anything real estate wise, go to Sean Butler on Instagram. It's 2 separate pages. So go to Sean Butler. If you're looking for Mind Over Matter, you can go to Mind Over Matter merch on Instagram. Where else? My YouTube channel, Shizzo Money Music. I got a lot of videos up there. So yeah, make sure you're turning post notifications on because Quarantine in Cali is coming soon. Divine Chosen Entertainment actually has a YouTube channel as well. And I'm gonna leave once we post this video, I'm gonna leave some links below because there's some people that I need y'all to follow because I know some very strategic and smart and professional expertise in everything that they do. Like for instance, like Farrar Productions, that's my photographer. I got Simone B. Wright, she's doing direction. I got A-Rack. A-Rack is one of the greatest at everything. He's a DJ, he do photography, he do videos, everything. And make sure you follow RELativity Media. You already know how to pair with my stylist, shot by Qua, my videographer. Just how they working with me, they'll work with you too. So yeah, we're gonna tag all those below. But yeah, you wanna start somewhere, SHIZZO. Like that. Okay. Right, here we go.
You wanna play a game? This game is one of my favorite games called Rapid Fire. I'm gonna give you 2 options. Rapid Fire. I'm gonna give you 2 things. You gotta pick one. You ready?
Excuse me. It's cool if I play a game.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to check with somebody.
I already knew that you had to play this game.
Oh, I see them.
You ready? All right. Ginger ale or Pepsi?
Ginger ale.
Okay. Chick-fil-A sandwich or Popeye sandwich?
I don't eat no chicken.
Oh.
I don't eat no chicken.
What's your diet looking like?
I've been a pescatarian. That's it, right?
Pescatarian.
I've been a pescatarian for about 5 years now. Yeah, I ain't had no chicken in years.
I was a pescatarian for 3 years, and then
and then 3 days, and then you quit.
For 3 years, and then somebody came in my life and forced chicken down my throat. We ain't gonna say no names.
Yo, let me tell y'all how one time me and him link up, right? I get some pizza.
Yeah.
I get a veggie pizza. He talking about, bro, how you gonna get pizza without wings? I'm like, bro, ain't you Presbyterian? He's like, oh, right, I am Presbyterian. I'm like, yo, you crazy.
Listen, man, that's another story. We're gonna tell you about that later. LeBron or Jordan?
LeBron or Jordan?
5, 4, 3, 2.
MJ.
What?
MJ.
That's an argument and a half, but we ain't got no time for that.
I can give it to you straight.
Why? Why MJ? He can't do what LeBron can do.
That's like comparing Jay-Z to Drake. You're comparing somebody who's hot right now versus somebody who paved the way. We're not going to do that. We're not going to. That's like giving credit to your son and not you. You're not going to do. Like, come on.
We ain't got enough time for that. We might go IG live for this one.
We gotta have a whole nother interview.
Jay-Z or Drake? This should be easy. I don't know why you taking so long.
You talking about like right now?
I'm about to cut the interview. What's happening here?
All right, so whoever's watching this, don't get offended.
I believe Jay-Z and Drake is going to watch this, and if you can choose one of them to feature on your song, if they both say, "Yo, Shizzo, I want to work with you," but Jay-Z say, "If you work with me, you can't work with Drake," and Drake say, "If you want to work with me, you can't work with Jay-Z," who you picking?
I'm gonna get that whole.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get that whole feature. Of course Drake will take me further. I believe
you Drake?
Absolutely. Right now, we're talking about 2021.
He'll probably take you further in music.
Drake will take me further.
But that Jay-Z plug is different.
Listen,
once you get a whole stamp, you out of here.
Bro, that's true too. I'm talking about like for the times right now, the relevancy of Drake.
Music.
The relevance of music, period.
Yeah,
of music, period. Like, I do a song with Drake today and be performing in China tomorrow. But as a hip-hop head, what I look like not taking a Jay-Z verse? Jay-Z verse make, like, Drake, you don't count right now. No offense, please don't. Bro, champagne, bro. Champagne
Bobby.
Don't take it no type of way. You understand, like, come on.
Early bird or sleep in?
Would I rather be or what I am?
Would you rather be?
I'd rather be an early bird. For sure. Like, remember I was talking about studying millionaires. That's one thing they got real estate in common. All millionaires wake up early. All millionaires.
That's funny to say that. I was on Instagram and I was scrolling through. They got something like that on Instagram. You scroll through to see what time, which millionaire wake up.
Yeah.
All of them get up before 9 a.m.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of them.
Absolutely.
Nobody gets up like 10, 11. Nobody gets up there.
Yo, my last mentor, Greg Parker, this man, he'd go to sleep. We'll be out, and we'll go to sleep 4 in the morning. He's still up at 5:30. Wow. Like nothing happened. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you do that?
5-hour energy drinks.
Yo, like, it doesn't make any sense. But it's like if your why is strong enough, you're gonna get up.
Oh yeah.
If your reason why is strong enough, and you can tell for some people it's not about money. Because chasing money ain't gonna make you, let me hurry up and be a bit like. But if you have got a strong reason why, then you gonna get up. So yeah, I'd definitely rather be an early bird.
Waffles, pancakes, or French toast?
French toast.
Okay. What's your favorite turn up song right now?
Right now? Turn up song.
Like, what's that song that's on the radio? You go ahead.
I don't think I should say that in this interview. Let's just say it could go like
or a classic turn up.
My like masterpiece. I ain't telling no jokes. You ain't gonna laugh at me still.
Oh yeah.
Masterpiece by the baby.
Right
now, I like that song. That's a turn up song, but I don't even listen for real. It's crazy because I go from that to my other turn up song is like, y'all gonna live to see.
The crazy thing, my next question was, what's your favorite gospel song right now?
My favorite gospel song, I would say of all time, is Eleibaid Adams. Which one? It's called In the Midst of It All.
Woo!
In the midst of it
That's
all.
a banger.
Yo, I remember I used to be scared of airplanes. Last year, I used to be scared of airplanes, but last year I was on an airplane literally every 2 weeks. I was on an airplane for the whole year straight. So when I was scared, like taking these flights, I used to put that song on repeat, and the bumps got slower. Like it wouldn't be shaky no more. Even if it was shaking, I didn't feel it because I always be in God's presence. Like in the midst of it all, He gonna protect you. You covered.
If y'all haven't heard Eleibaid Adams' Midst of It All, you're doing yourself a disservice.
I'm putting that on right after this.
Listen to that song. Oh my goodness. It's different. It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe.
It is.
It's a different vibe.
It is. I got one for you, Rapid Fire. Biggie and Pac.
Biggie. Now, Biggie's the better rapper. Pac is the bigger legend.
This is what I'm talking about. When we have these type of questions, you have to put it in categories.
Yeah.
You
I
have
agree.
to put it in categories.
Now, Pac is still higher on my greatest all time list.
But if we talking about lyrics, you'll say Biggie.
Yeah. So I have two different lists. I have my favorites, and I have who I deem as just the greatest with no bias. So if I say who my favorites is, of course I'm gonna say Hov. I'm gonna say Beans. I'm gonna say Mace. I'm gonna say Biggie. Meek is in there. Cause you know I gotta keep it a buck.
Meek in there because you gotta keep it a buck.
Yeah, cause I listen to Meek a lot. Fab, Kiss, Shizzo. Listen, can I keep it a buck? Shizzo played me a song the other day. What was my reaction?
That.
When I say I play this back to back to back, I wish. Can we get like just the first verse? No,
I got you.
Oh, just a.
We got.
I don't even know the title of the track.
When I show up.
That's how I come on too.
When I show up. I'm showing up fashionably late.
Yeah.
Ever do I disappoint my mate? I bought some flowers for the date. I'm heavy like the steak up on a plate. I told her say some room for the cake, but she can't even wait. I'm looking like 100,000 streams, Cartier frames and Visine, my name on the widescreen. Her stimulation came from the smell of my hygiene. The herbal essence making her eyes lean. So what's the move? I keep it smooth like shea butter on melanin skin. Won't see the end if you don't never begin. Embrace the losses, but it's better to win. If you wasn't ready for war, you should never let a veteran in. I think the medicine is settling in. That's coming soon, yo. That's gonna be dropped on Divine Entertainment.
Yo, I played that. I played that from a videographer, man, LZ. Shout out to LZ. And she's like, oh my God, where is this at? I need to find this. Crazy, bro. You're gonna be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, bro.
I appreciate that.
Believe that. Believe that.
That's the goal.
Listen, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this interview, man. The one and only Sean Shizzo Butler. Sean Shizzo Butler, man. He's amazing. Father. Come on. Man of God. Signed artist. Real estate agent. Come on. Mind over matter. Divine Chosen Entertainment.
Yeah.
Come on. And it's just added.
Yeah.
It just added. So y'all go follow, like, subscribe, man. Everything he's doing, y'all already know. I am Jerel Paul. RELativity Media. Follow, like, and subscribe me. You already know. We out.